You do the deeds of your father. So Jesus is addressing their source of pride. See, they believed, well, we're Abraham's descendants, and God has promised blessings on Abraham and his descendants, and so we're already blessed. They felt a sense of security, a false sense of security in God's promises. But Jesus makes a distinction, and Pastor Dave talked about this maybe last week or a couple weeks ago, that there's a distinction between being Abraham's physical descendants and Abraham's spiritual descendants. And God's promises, there are actually in the scriptures, there are sort of two types of promises to Abraham's descendants. There are those promises that are to the physical nation of Israel, the Jews, the descendants of Abraham. And those promises still remain. Many are yet unfulfilled. And then there are those promises to the spiritual descendants of Abraham. And the people that Jesus is speaking with were confused about this. He's saying if you really were Abraham's descendants, if you really were following his example, then you would believe me. Because Abraham had faith in God. And I have come from God, Jesus is saying. And so if you really were following in the example of your father, you would follow him into trusting me.